أو أثبت الرأس بالعربي. هيدي بالنسبة له مرة ضاعت في إيطاليا. حط جائزة مالية.
Get some final instructions from our head official, or the official in this matchup. That'll be Blake Grice. Of course, Blake, a veteran official of mixed martial arts and kickboxing as well, based out of South Carolina. Know him very well. In fact, the man that hooked me up with this gig. So big thanks to Blake, and just glad to be here in Beirut and ready for this main event. I know everybody in the world is as well. We want to welcome everybody tuning in to Phoenix FC. This is the moment you've been waiting for. It is three-minute rounds for the Phoenix FC Junior Middleweight World Championship. That's right. That is the hair on the back of your neck standing up. That is that excitement in the air where you see a legend, an absolute monument to the sport of Muay Thai, Buakaw, competing right here against Andrei Kulebin, and Kulebin strikes first. It'll be Buakaw in the black trunks, and it is Kulebin in the black with the red trim. Buakaw going to the body, trading shots. Beautiful shot to the leg by Kulebin, then answered by Buakaw, and a nice shot to the body as well. Buakaw, of course, one of the biggest free agents in all of combat sports, and just to bring him to be a part of your show is such a huge accomplishment for any promotion. And Buakaw very choosy about where he goes, and he liked the presentation. He likes what Phoenix is doing, and you just got to give credit where credit is due. It's a world-class organization that spares no expense to put on a good show for the Arabic region, for Lebanon, and for the entire world to see. And what a great coming out party it is having Buakaw on the card. Nice shot to the body by the legend. Kulebin answers with a shot to the body for himself. You see the head movement. You see the focus of Buakaw, and to see it in person really is pretty amazing. But keep in mind, Andrei Kulebin is no slouch. This is a guy that doesn't have nearly even half of the fights that Buakaw does. That being said, this is an 18-time world champion. Kulebin can win this fight. And Buakaw does have 23 losses on his record, so he can be beat. But right now we're seeing more offense out of Buakaw than we are for Kulebin. A lot of shots to the body, and you really just get to see the speed and the fluidity of Buakaw when you see him in person right in front of you. Shots to the legs, and here we go, and a big miss by Kulebin, and he paid for that. Outside leg kick by Buakaw, making him pay. And Buakaw going for a takedown. Funny story, when I first heard about this idea and Buakaw was coming to Lebanon and there was MMA involved, I thought he was making his MMA debut, and there's actually been talk of this happening for years. Of course, later I found out that it was going to be a Muay Thai kickboxing match for a championship, and that's equally as exciting. But Buakaw, you take a look at him and you see his athletic prowess, and you feel like he could do just about anything if he put his mind to it. And I think he still has time at 34 years old if he ever wanted to do a foray, even just a one-off fight in MMA. I think the world would love to see it. And Buakaw is closing in here and walking right into a clinch, but not wasting any sort of strikes. This is not a guy that you're going to see waste any strikes, throw any punches that aren't going to be effective and aren't going to change the fight. He catches the leg of Kulebin and charges forward with a flying knee and catches him in the chest. Not a whole lot of impact in that one, but Buakaw in firm control. Kulebin may be caught up in it a little bit. A huge opponent for Andrei Kulebin, and as many fights as he has had, going against the biggest and best Muay Thai fighter in the world today it's a pretty big deal. And we're at the end of round number one, and quite frankly, it was just the busier fighter was Buakaw. He landed more shots. Kulebin wasn't able to really get into his offense. As you take a look at the replay, Buakaw just very, very fluid. He checks nearly every kick that comes through for Kulebin and then throws a few knees for good measure. And if you think some of those shots, maybe they don't hit with as much impact as you're thinking. Those are big, hard shots that Buakaw is throwing to the body, and I know it would fold up most people, including this commentator. There's your beautiful Phoenix FC girl, getting us ready for round number 2 of 3, Buakaw Banchamek. Andrei Kulebin, it's Thailand versus Belarus, and it's for the junior middleweight Muay Thai championship right here at Phoenix Fighting Championships. We've seen so many big fights throughout the night. Big turnout for Lebanon, and the Lebanese fighters did very well. I believe it was 3 out of the 4 fighters that are representing Lebanon had a very good night tonight and were able to come out with the victory, so the crowd was absolutely loving it. But this right here has everybody's attention as round 2 kicks off here just a few seconds in, and the early kick by Kulebin shook up Buakaw a bit. You feel like at any point, though, he can explode with some pretty nasty offense. Kulebin throws a big shot, misses. Buakaw makes him pay. Every shot, strategic, every shot is making contact. No wasted movement. There's a reason why you get to 228 wins, only 23 losses. That means 205 more wins than losses in the career of Buakaw. That's pretty amazing if you think about it. And you make the comparisons to a Floyd Mayweather, a guy that, came around at the right time. And I think it's the same you can be said for Buakaw. This is a guy that's kind of an anomaly in the Muay Thai world right now, and nobody can really touch him. And people are willing to pay large amounts of money just to be at one of his fights, to watch him online, to watch him on television. It's pretty amazing as Buakaw continues to walk in unfettered by the pressure by Andrein Kulebin. Now Kulebin has him up against the ropes. Blake Grice is going to separate them. Too much of an extended clinch as you see the corner of Buakaw looking on. This one turning into a bit of a clinch war. Like to see a separation and possibly utilize those elbows by either Kulebin or Buakaw. Up against the ropes, knees to the legs, everything hitting for Buakaw, and they go to the ground. He's in the half guard. I mean, he's a natural for mixed martial arts. And here we go. We get it back standing and right back to the clinch. Not wasting any time. These two getting tied up very, very easily. And right at the same time, Blake Grice gets him right back up, and he has his work cut out for him. He's had to keep these guys off the ground. And there's a trip by Buakaw, putting him on his back. Quite easily, by the way. Timing nearly everything that Kulebin throws. He's either making him miss and countering, or he's catching the kick on the way in. That's how quick the reflexes are, and that kind of shows you what kind of a level Buakaw Bunchamik really is compared to his opponent tonight. Kulebin is attempting to give him a good fight, but whenever he strikes evaded and or countered, it's not a whole lot you can do about it. I mean, a simple low kick, and it's blocked once again by Buakaw. He grabs a hold of that leg, and once again, Andrein Kulebin is on his backside. It's that quick, that precise for Sombat Buakaw Bunchamik. And he's back on top again as they tumble down to the ground and quickly right back to their feet. And round number 2 is up. Now, the crowd not giving us a whole lot here, of course, just in awe of seeing Buakaw and seeing him in person. That being said, I think the crowd would like to see a little bit more action between these two, and that's going to require for Kulebin to kind of let his guard down and really go after it. Now, you don't want to leave yourself wide open to a absolute dangerous striker like Buakaw, but at some points you have to go for it and you have to make things interesting. I mean, there's a good chance that Andrein Kulebin doesn't get another shot against Buakaw. Buakaw's sitting at 251 fights as it is. Who knows how many years he's going to continue to fight. And will Kulebin ever get a shot? I mean, think about how many Muay Thai fighters would love the opportunity just to get a shot at Buakaw Bunchamik. That's where you got to believe that Andrein Kulebin's going to have to make this round count and fight like it's his last round he's ever fought. You take a look at the corners of both fighters. For Buakaw, it's steady in the course. Not a whole lot to say here. He needs to kind of stick with what he's doing. He's not expending a lot of energy. He's just staying very precise. He's blocking most kicks. But Andrein Kulebin is going to have to turn up the heat, and he's going to have to really start throwing some strikes if he wants a chance to hoist up that Phoenix junior middleweight belt. On most scorecards, I would say that Kulebin is down 2 rounds. That means you have 1 round to make a big impression. And who knows, put Buakaw on his back. Third and final round for our main event of Phoenix FC, a show of respect, but now it's time to go back to battle. And right out of the gate, you see fired up is Andrei Kulebin. Throwing a nice combination with the punches and the kicks. He has to go after it. How bad does Kulebin want it? He kicks right into the guard, and Buakaw was ready for it. He catches that kick to the body. And you can see he's setting him up for a trip once again. It just seems pretty effortless for Buakaw. It takes quite a bit. To really surprise him at this point in his career. I think he's seen just about everything and been in there with the best that Muay Thai has to offer. Andrei Kulebin's going to have to show us something. He's going to have to be a little unorthodox, maybe throw that kitchen sink out there, or everything but, just to surprise the Muay Thai legend that is Buakaw Bunchamik. Now tied up. And Bunchamik throwing knees to the body. Buakaw giving everything that he can in this fight, doing a heck of a job, setting him up. And a beautiful shot to the body by Buakaw. And here he's starting to catch fire, giving the fans a little bit of offense. Not playing it completely defensively, giving him a show. Anytime you bring him to town, it is a show. Fighting for the pride of his country, fighting for the late king of Thailand. Big shot to the body by Buakaw. Left roundhouse kick, now a right roundhouse kick, and just too fast, keeping Kulebin guessing the entire time, and he trips him once again, grabs hold of that leg, and quickly puts him on the ground. The strength of this man, pretty immeasurable. Completely compact, completely shredded up. And it just seems like Kulebin has no sort of answer, and really nothing that Buakaw should need to worry about at this point. But it only takes one kick, one elbow, one punch, or one knee to change the whole aspect of everything. Stranger things have happened. Buster Douglas knocked out Mike Tyson. Matt Serra knocked out George St. Pierre. Stranger things have happened, ladies and gentlemen, so watch close. Can Andrei Kulebin shock the world, or is Buakaw going to continue to do what he does and pad that record and continue to get win after win after win, extending that legacy? Kick to the body, setting it up by Buakaw. And once again, they are clinched up with not much time left in this one. Final moments of the third and final round. Beautiful kick to the body by Bunchamik. Switch kick, now showing us a little bit of offense. Smiling, big grin on his face. And he's going to put right back down on the ground, and that's it. That is the fight. That is the third and final round, and you got to believe that Buakaw is going to a decision victory, most likely unanimous, for the Thai legend that is Buakaw. He puts on another masterpiece. Kulebin didn't give him a whole lot to work with. Didn't throw a whole lot of shots out there. Would have liked to see a little bit more offense, a little bit more urgency by the Belarus fighter. But it's tough to deal with a guy like Buakaw. And not only is it intimidating, it's very intimidating just having to face him, but at the same time, just dealing with his skill set is pretty phenomenal. The guy is literally catching every kick that comes through. He has a perfect defense for it, and he's rock solid. He's not giving up any shots. I don't know that he ever got touched on the face. I don't really know any damage that he garnered in this fight. A pretty easy night of work for Buakaw. A little bit of a travel, a few hours on an airplane, but other than that, very dominant by the Thai legend, Buakaw Bunchamik, in our main event of Phoenix FC, and it looks like he's going to be adding another belt, another strap, another championship to the lineage of his fine career in this sport. And now we await the official decision, the presentation of the belt by our president here at Phoenix FC.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the championship belt.
It all comes down to this, ladies and gentlemen. Now just the presentation, and that's going to be it for us as Buakaw, with no surprise, puts on a fine show and most likely is about to claim another championship for his wall, for his mantle.
And we have a unanimous decision in favor
And here we go.
of your winner and the new Phoenix Fighting Championships Junior Middleweight Muay Thai World champion from Thailand, Buakaw.
يعني ما كان ابدا مفاجئ، سيطر بشكل كامل على المباراة. بوكاو بانشاميك من تايلاند هو يلي بيفوز وراح يستلم حزام فينيكس من رئيس مجلس إدارة منظمة فينيكس شهية ريفانيا.
No surprise there. Buakaw adds another championship to his record. An absolute pleasure, an honor to be able to call the fight of that man, Buakaw Banchamek, the utmost legend, especially living legend of Muay Thai right now. What he's done for the sport in the last decade has been pretty incredible. And Buakaw, once again, does what he does best, puts on an incredible performance, and adds another belt to his many. Phoenix FC, what an absolute success. All the folks that put this together, all the fine men and women that made this possible, and of course the whole crowd that came out here to Nohad Nafal Stadium here in Bangkok, Thailand. What a night it was. And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for us. Make sure to stay tuned online to our website, and make sure to follow us online with all of our social media to find out about our next big event and for more updates here for the Phoenix Fighting Championship. For Phoenix FC, I'm Cyrus Fees, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye from beautiful Beirut, Lebanon.
عم يشوفوا لاعب أسطورة، عم يشوفوه أمامهم وعم يحتفلوا أكيد.